Hey, I'm Kevin McQuist, and welcome to today's edition of the Cab Chronicles. Thought I would talk a little bit about the different jobs that I've had and kind of why the cab thing fits well with me. It probably would have to define my 20s and 30s as being the time that I would figure out something that I liked doing and then figure out a way to make money at it. I had did the corporate thing mostly to appease the woman I was married to at the time. I was vice president of a clothing manufacturer, and I was national sales manager for a bicycle tire company, and I was executive director of a nonprofit. I always did those things, though, to support us while I gigged at night, and they never really were a great fit for me. They weren't really what I wanted to do. What I would do typically before I was married, and I guess maybe to a certain extent after I got divorced, was that I would do something in a field that I really liked. I would work in the ski industry. I was a ski instructor, and I was a pro ski patroller in Colorado. I would work in the bicycle industry and manage bike shops, but I was a race mechanic for professional cycling teams. I was a mechanic at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. I appeared on the Discovery Channel a couple of times as a bicycle consultant, was the co-host of a pilot TV show for the Lifetime Network on bicycling. So I would do stuff in the bike industry. I was a fly fishing guide, and I managed a fly fishing shop. I managed a couple fly fishing shops, and would guide, was an instructor for Orvis, the biggest fly fishing company in the world. I would find something that I really liked doing, and then I would make money at it. And my poor ex-wife, Liz, who's one of the great souls of the planet, and is very much the corporate type and on the corporate track, and had to really put up with my ski bum, trout bum, bike bum ways. She would call these O jobs because people would ask her, "What does your husband do for a living?" And she'd say, "Oh, my husband's a fly fishing guide." And they would look at her and go, "Oh." So, O jobs. Yesterday's Metro newspaper had an article about not being afraid to do what it is that you like to do, to not be afraid to try something new. I ask everybody that gets in my cab, if you could do anything for a living and get paid for it, and it didn't even have to generate revenue, what would you do? What's your dream job? And I'll tell you right now, 2/3 of the people I ask that question to have no idea whatsoever. They have absolutely no clue. They never thought outside the box. They just put their head down, work in their cubicle, do what they need to do. About a quarter of them have some idea what it is they'd really like to be doing, but probably aren't bold enough to do it. And 1 out of 10 people that I ask that question to actually likes what they're doing, and they say, "I would do what I'm doing right now. I love being a neurosurgeon," or "I love being a litigator," or "I love selling software," or developing software. So I encourage you to figure out what it is. To me, driving the cab never really felt like work. Driving around, listening to NPR all day and talking to people and getting their feelings on life and hearing their problems, to me, it's not really that hard of work. It's a 12-hour shift, and trust me, by the end of the day, I'm tired, and knowing that I have to now move on and market myself online, or send out press releases, or go flyer for a show, or go play a gig, it definitely makes it tough. But I really do enjoy those things. I would happily go back to being a fly fishing guide. I would happily go be a pro ski patroller again. I would happily do another TV commercial or shoot another pilot for a TV show. but not enough to warrant having to work that hard at it. I like falling into situations. I work pretty hard at the music, and that seems to be paying off, slowly but surely. And tomorrow night I play my first gig since being in the hospital, so I'm excited. I'll be at Buckets in my neighborhood in East Falls doing an acoustic set, and I'm looking forward to that. I kind of live for that 42 minutes on stage. So my message today is, don't be afraid to think about what it is you'd really like to be doing, and do something today to move toward that, whether it's researching online how to start, or figuring out, do I need more schooling, or what are other people that I admire doing, and how do I get there. So thanks for tuning into the Cab Chronicles Part 5, and laugh and flow.